the September 10th Planning and Zoning meeting. If we can have roll call, please.
Messina,
Here?
Ingalls,
Here.
Fleming,
Here.
Rumpler,
Here.
Ward,
Here.
Luthrop,
Here.
Mandel.
Here.
Okay, thank you. And if you can stand and join us with the pledge, please. Thank you. We have two sets of minutes to be approved, the July 9th set of minutes, please.
Motion to approve the July 9th.
Have a motion, need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. August 13th minutes, please.
I move to approve the August 13th minutes.
I have a motion, need a second?
Second.
I have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. At this time, we'll have public comments, and that's anything that isn't on the agenda tonight. Doesn't seem like anyone's here. So we'll move on to commissioner comments, if there's anything anybody wants to add. Peter?
Well, if you, the other day, we talked about possibly having youth service groups come in. Have you had an opportunity to see if there's any validity to that idea or something the city wants to do?
Not had a chance to talk to administration about that yet, but I did visit with Randy a little bit about that idea.
Secondly, are you going to talk about this parking on Sherman?
Yes, I will.
Okay, because Mr. Ingles and I have a comment that Mr. Ingles will make, a very positive comment. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Any other comments? Okay. Hillary, staff comments?
All right, well, good evening, Commissioner. So a few comments. Just wanted to remind you that we do have that workshop tomorrow with MIG, the consultant team that's going to be in town for a few days this week for our Envision Coeur d'Alene, which is our comprehensive plan update and the update to the vision and implementation plan. So we look forward to that discussion. This is really just early visioning and kind of kicking off the project. And then related to the Envision Coeur d'Alene project, we have the public launch on the 26th. So that's a Thursday, and that will be at the Innovation Den starting at 5:30 p.m. And so that, the newspaper incorrectly said that was really just launching the website. It is truly the public engagement part of the project is kicking off. So we're going to be doing a press release and getting that out and creating a Facebook event so people know that we want them there to participate. There's going to be some fun interactive activities. So we have that going on. We also have the Parking It on Sherman event. It's the 5th annual, and you have a little flyer in front of you. So that is on Friday, September 20th. So next Friday from 4 to 9 p.m. on Sherman at the 14th Street intersection. So it'll be kind of starting on the 1300 block and then spanning a little into the 1400 block. We have a lot of great activities and live music and food trucks and all the things that we tend to have, and really kind of having it be more informative. This year it's also a partnership with CDA 2030 for their annual celebration rather than having that done separately. So there will be educational booths tied to the 6 themes, and those 6 themes are what we're using in our comprehensive plan. So it's going to be a great and fun event. We also, from the Missing Middle Housing Forum, the presentation and the PowerPoint slides are all uploaded onto the city's website. So that's on the planning department page if anyone wants to look back at that. And we've been compiling the mapping exercise and the responses we received, as well as the roundtable report, so that we can summarize that for not only the grant reporting, but just to have on hand as we move forward with the next part of the infill housing and missing middle housing code. And then lastly, for your October meeting, we'll have 1 public hearing item, possibly 2, I guess. And then there will also be an Atlas presentation related to the development standards. So that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Hillary. Appreciate it.
So, yeah,
Go ahead, John.
Peter
Sorry.
set me up for the comment on this real quick.
Oh.
And so I just wanted to mention, we were chatting over here on this block party. It's free, and live music and kids bike rodeo, long putt competition, all kinds of fun stuff. So we ought to take a minute, and I would encourage folks when they see these flyers to take note of the sponsors that are funding this thing. And it's encouraging to see that we have big sponsors like banks, realtors, title companies, and whatnot. But what Peter and I were impressed with was not only do you have the big sponsors and so forth, but there's at least two sponsors that are local right down on East Sherman, one being Moontime, and the other one, Peter and I's favorite tavern, 1210. So it's great to see local participation, and we applaud their sponsorship.
And there's one other that just opened, actually, is that Anytime Fitness, is that the one on the corner of 15th and, is that,
Then Sherman.
yeah.
And Fins and Feathers, right?
Fins and Feathers and the property management, there's actually quite a few that are located on East Sherman.
And that's very well said, but
And
the-
Umpqua.
the important thing about 12 and 10 is John and I both went to Harding, not together, but, and so that's just a local place. It doesn't seem to change, which is good.
And do you need any help this year again, volunteers?
We do. So I'll be sending out information about that. We have a Sign Up Genius, so we are trying to fill some volunteer time slots. So we would love some participation, and if you
Are
guys
we
are
building
available.
anything this year, Mike?
No, we're not building anything this year, so that'll be good. So you don't have to be surprised with building a parklet. Thank you for your efforts.
Yeah. And how many years is this, you started this, Hillary?
This is the 5th annual.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, thank you. Look forward to it. Okay, at this time, we're going to do a public hearing. There was only one. It's SP-5-19, a proposed special retail special use permit in an LM zoning district. Take it away, Mike.
Good evening, Commissioners. This is the public hearing for item SP-5-19, application by Northwest Boulevard Holding LLC, represented by Bud Scott, requesting a special use permit to allow a specialty retail sales facility that will allow retail flooring store and professional service business in an existing structure in the light manufacturing district on property that is located at 1515 Northwest Boulevard. Legal notice was published in the Coeur d'Alene Press on August 24th, 2019, and all required notifications have been made. Here's the location map indicating where the property is located. This is Northwest Boulevard, and this is the bridge over the Spokane River. Here's a close-up aerial photograph of the property. The property is currently unoccupied. There currently was a boat sales facility at this site. You can see the property is highlighted in red. The applicant recently purchased this property and is proposing to open a flooring store here. The applicant became aware of an access easement issue between the adjoining landowner to the west. This is a civil matter between two adjoining landowners, and the applicants can still move forward with the special use permit. The applicant does have access off of Northwest Boulevard. He also has access through his building with two large roll-up doors to access the parking lot to the south. Here's the site plan showing how the property is laid out. Here's the parking spaces, here's the roll-up doors, and the access to the rear of the property to here. Here's a proposed floor plan of how the applicant is proposing to use it. He's going to cut up some of the space in warehouse and office space and showroom. There are 3 findings that need to be met in order for a special use permit to be approved. B8A through B8C. The first one is B8A, that this proposal is or is not in conformance with the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan indicates this area in the Spokane River District, and in the green area is the areas of a transition, and areas in transition are highly likely to change over the planning period. The comprehensive plan envisions this area as a various commercial, retail, and mixed uses. The scale and intensity of the development will be less than the downtown core, and neighborhood service nodes are encouraged where appropriate. This slide represents 3 objectives in the comprehensive plan. The full list is on page 7 of the staff report. Objective 1.12, community design. Objective 1.14, efficiency, to promote the efficient use of existing infrastructure, thereby reducing impacts to underdeveloped areas. And then welcome and support a diverse mix of quality professional, trade, business, and service industries while protecting existing uses of these types from encroachment by incompatible land uses. The next finding is finding B8B. The design and planning of the site is or is not compatible with the location, setting, and existing uses on adjacent property. Here's some site photos of the structure that's existing. This is across the street looking west. This is looking northwest. This is looking southwest. This is looking at the office area of the building. And the last photo is looking at the rear of the property looking south. Here's a zoning map illustrating the zoning. This property is zoning light manufacturing, and for a retail flooring business, it's a special use permit in the light manufacturing district. And this property in 1983 was zoned from C17 to light manufacturing. And at that time, there was some warehousing going on, and that was the use at that time in 1983. And that was the purpose of the rezoning. You can see the C17 district to the north and across the street, and the C17 PUD at Bellerive. Here's some special use permits in the area. In 1985, there was a special use permit for a recreational area, so public park, and in 1993, a special use for community education, which is elementary school. Both were approved. Here's a land use map indicating the land uses. As you can see, commercial across Northwest Boulevard and to the north of the property. Civic uses in the blue. And finally, the last finding, B8C. The location and design and size of the proposal are such that the development will or will not be adequately served by existing streets, public facilities, and services. City staff has reviewed this application, and each department has indicated there are adequate public facilities and public utilities available to serve the proposed request. There are no proposed conditions, and the Planning Commission will need to consider this request and make appropriate findings to approve, deny, or deny without prejudice. And that concludes my presentation.
Any questions? No? Oh, John?
Thanks, Mike. Question, the boat sales business that was there previously, did they operate under a special use permit?
They did not. It was legal non-conforming at that time, and this person just purchased the property and wanted to bring it into compliance.
But it functioned basically as retail boat sales.
That's
retail.
correct.
So if they were to reestablish themselves, they would have to function.
That's correct.
And were there any issues during the time as a boat sales with respect
We're
to?
unaware of any issues at a staff level of the boat sales operation.
Prior to that, that was Von Nash Interiors. They did furniture and decor. Before that, it was a dry cleaners, which was really non-conforming. So
Okay.
I think it has a history that'd be nice to clean up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. And is there someone here representing the applicant? No? Oh, come on up.
Say, come on down.
Yeah, just tell me your name and I'll swear you in.
Bud Scott,
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
absolutely.
All right, Bud, you have time to talk and tell us about your project, what you like to do.
Okay, I started this business in 1990. We currently have a location in Spokane Valley. And we do a ton of business over here, a ton of clients. In fact, my next door neighbor is a client of ours at this current location. And I've been looking at this property for 10 years going, this would be the perfect spot for what we do. It came up for sale, I jumped on it, and so here we are. Like, put in it's a flooring store. It's a little more than just selling carpet. We're a design, full-service specification workroom for furniture, fixtures, floor coverings, window treatments, et cetera. And that's about it.
Okay. Any questions? All right, well, thank you.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have two people. I have John Stolp. I'm not sure if I pronounced the name right. Doesn't wish to speak. And then a Karen Henson didn't indicate whether you wanted to speak or not. You do want to speak? No, come on up. No? Who? So, okay.
Karen
Just
Hansen.
tell me your name and I'll swear you in, Karen.
Karen Hansen.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay.
Okay. I'm the adjoining property owner here. And the only
okay.
reason that I'm here is on this initial map that they sent out to surrounding property owners, this was on there, and that's my property. So I see it's been corrected tonight and everything's cool. And I've already met with Bud, and he seems like he's gonna be an awesome neighbor. A lot better than Mr. Olinger was. So I'm very happy, and I welcome him to the community, and I hope to do a lot of business with him, since I am a real estate agent, and so his business is gonna be an asset to the community.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I do want to ask, when you send out a letter to all the adjoining property owners, what is the policy if it's, who checks this and makes sure the boundaries are correct and the information you're sending out to adjoining properties, that it's correct before it goes out?
I'll let either Randy or Hillary or...
So staff will put them together, but typically they'll use the map that was provided by the applicant. So in this case, yeah, it looks like we didn't triple check to make sure that there wasn't a little sliver of your property, so apologize for that error.
Thank you.
So your concern is that the lines are drawn inappropriately?
Right, but it's been corrected.
Correctly? And-
This drawing is correct. The one that they initially sent out to adjoining property owners was not correct.
But it doesn't take precedent over property descriptions and so forth.
Pardon?
It doesn't take precedent over the legal descriptions and whatnot. It's just an artist's rendering.
Yeah, it was just a line error. Thanks.
Yeah, the notice clarifies that you can come into the office to see the full application on file.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. That's everyone I have that's signed up. But I imagine there's nothing else you want to add at this point, because I'll close public testimony and bring it to the commissioners for discussion and a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
This matter having come before the Planning Commission on September 10th, 2019, and there being present a person requesting approval of the item SP-5-19, especially retail special use permit in the light manufacturing zoning district. The applicant is Northwest Boulevard Holding, LLC. Location is 1515 Northwest Boulevard. Our findings follow a standard B1 through B7, which is notifying the public and notifying what the zoning is. B8, pursuant to section 17.09.220 special use permit criteria, a special use permit may be approved only if the proposal conforms to all the following criteria to the satisfaction of the Planning Commission. The proposal is in conformance with the comp plan as follows. It meets our community design and supports the enhancements of existing urbanized areas. It is efficient because it's in a great location, and it certainly helps our economic environment, bringing in this kind of a trade-focused supply line. And good business and imagery, it already exists. This building has functioned in similar usages in the past. B8B, the design and planning of the site is compatible with the location, setting, and existing uses on adjacent properties, as noted. And then B8C, the location, design, and size of the proposal are such that the development will be adequately served by existing streets, public facilities, and services, and this has been verified by our various departments in the city. And in conclusion, with the decision, the Planning Commission, pursuant to the aforementioned, finds the Northwest Boulevard Holding LLC for a special use permit as described in the application should be approved.
Thank you. I have a first.
Second?
I have a second. And can we have a roll call, please?
Fleming,
Yes.
Ingalls,
Yes.
Mendel,
Yes.
Luthrop,
Yes?
Rumpler,
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Thank you. SP-5-19 is approved. Congratulations, and thank you for bringing another business to Coeur d'Alene. Appreciate it. If there is no further discussion, Peter?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn
Oh.
at the hour of 5:50.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
It's a record.
Is that-
I think